Not quite. Let me take care of some things first.
You know where I'll be. Go sitting.
Yeah, fire it up.
Visual range and engage DRFM jamming. You can scan the facility from the air with...
Negative. I'm gonna find out what's being planned. I gotta get inside.
Are you crazy? We have no way of knowing what's in there.
I'm tired of flying this limousine around. Did you say you wanted to get back in the action?
Fine. I'm not setting us down.
Access granted.
You really must avoid taking those wrong turns. A little taste, so at the end you understand what you're interfering with. Give my regards to Talos.
I thought there'd be more blood. You said Walker was covered in it.
Racker had more meat in him than this one. Maybe that's the difference.
But you're sure he'll die?
The Orchid has no mercy. His end will come. It will be slow, and it will be painful. Just time enough for a man to think on his sins. Yeah.
If he found us, it means the facility is compromised. We should move out.
No. We were warned that this one was coming. We have time before they start searching for him.
If you are certain, what about your friends from Ark?
Those fools have outlived their usefulness. Let them drink a little more, then dose them with more. Down to bodies with this one. Enough of this dead weight. You carry him now. This is as far as I go.
You're flying back to Prague.
I need to meet with those Diwali pigs. Get them to accelerate the timeline so our shipment clears customs immediately.
They will want more money.
Smugglers always want more money. The Diwali won't get it.
So the men and I should stay here and proceed as planned?
Brown confirmed everything with Picos last night. Date and time.
End of the line for you, friends.
Chicane, come in. Damn. How long have I been out? Miller, it's Jensen. I can't raise Chicane.
Jensen? What's happened?
I walked into an ambush. Chicane could be in trouble.
Fuck. I'll see if I can raise him. Was it Marchenko?
Him and the gold-masked mercs from Dubai. They're in it together, posing as Urk. Marchenko admitted poisoning Rucker.
I'll call Leon. See how quickly they can get a team there. You stay low and find the exit.
Copy that. But these guys think I'm dead. Maybe I should take advantage of that and have a peek around. Might find out more about him.
Checking on asset, copy.
Everything seems light without the box guy.
Most of the artillery is already on its way to the target location. Full operation.
Yala, report to the shooting range immediately.
Go. Ignore that throbbing sound. It's only our cargo motor.
job has the best dog.
Perimeter detail reports west side all clear.
bit of that fun. I wonder where they run it.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access denied. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Hey, Jensen. Miller tells me you're alive in there. It was too tough, huh?
Where the hell have you been, Chicane?
Me? You've been off comms for hours, partner. Hell, I almost came in there after you, but damn roaches down there spotted me, so I had to bug out. Been trying to raise you ever since.
Yeah, well, now I need a pickup.
Helipad, north end of the facility. As soon as I catch you on infrared, I'll break cover and grab you. Chicane out.
Perimeter detail reports north side, all clear.
Negative. Control, over.
Oh!
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Attention all personnel. Clubhouse is closed.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program access granted.
Negative.
Perimeter detail reports west side all clear.
You know what Garm is in Norse mythology? The watchdog of hell, just like us.
Sorry, what?
Vector clear.
Double confirmed. Possible contact.
And? That would be poetic justice.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
Cargo 2 is loaded and awaiting secure. Slovensky, report to Cargo 4 for inspection.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
All cargo not loaded by 0400 will be terminated in the burn.
Access granted.
Ready to get the hell out of here.
Eerie, isn't it?
What the hell happened? Where's everyone?
Martial law. Riots in Gollum spilled over into Prague. Entire city's on lockdown. No one but state police allowed in the streets tonight. They've all got itchy trigger fingers.
Wonderful. Talk to Miller? Tell him to meet me at the office?
He'll be waiting for you. Of course, you'll likely be shot getting there. Watch yourself out there, Jensen.
Alex, it's me. We need to meet.
You got a location? Because the streets aren't safe tonight, man.
Can you make it to the limb clinic where we met before?
Yeah, it's not far. I'll meet you there. Don't know why he didn't listen. Let's see what we have. Fuck! Then why did he run?
What's the holdup? So?
So we killed a citizen.
The city's on lockdown. A true citizen would respect that. Get him in the truck.
Where the hell you been, man? You went dark after skipping out on Janus and the bank.
Chasing down Viktor Marchenko. Found him holed up in the Swiss Alps with the mercs from Dubai. They tried to kill me with this.
What is it?
The orchid. Marchenko used it to kill Rucker, so be careful. Think you can get it analyzed?
Yeah, we got a couple of scientists on the Collective's mailing list. Oh, and we also ran a trace on that email you gave me from Rucker. It originated from an unregistered pocket secretary in Hong Kong.
So we don't know who sent it?
Not yet. It's been shut off ever since. But we left a trace running, so if it lights up again, we'll know.
Good. Something big is coming, Alex. Ark's being framed for a terrorist attack that hasn't occurred yet.
They're gonna take more lives, blow up another train station? Jesus, Adam, look at it out there. Any chance we had of easing fears and fighting people's hatred will be gone. That piece of shit UN legislation will pass, and we'll all be thrown into AUG-only hellholes like Udalek.
While Nathaniel Brown sits back and earns trillions.
Brown? That slick suit from the Santo Corporation?
Page said Brown was calling the shots, and in Switzerland, Marchenko said Brown had confirmed date and time.
But where? Brown's been traveling extensively, promoting Rabia and his Safe Harbor initiative. His next junket's in London. But if he's behind this, he's not gonna attack himself.
Maybe not. Marchenko also mentioned someone who can tell us. But I have to meet with Miller first. How soon can you get the sample analyzed?
As fast as possible. If you're meeting with Miller, be careful. You walked into another ambush in Garm, and Miller's not off my suspect list yet.
We'll see.
Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Access granted.
I like it down here. If you don't, then you can just fall.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
It is you.
Welcome to the Underground. I owe you an apology for hacking your infolink.
Don't sweat it. I'm assuming you had a good reason.
Samizdat's usual channels are all bugged. I couldn't risk an audio communication being traced back here.
You're Little K, right? You don't sound local.
I wrote some things that made me have to delocalize a long time ago. Been living story to story on a Schengen visa and a language implant ever since. Never expect a short story from a long-form journalist. You want to know why I brought you here? The police raided Samizdat last night. Cleared us out. We were broadcasting until they pulled the plug. Radios, flyers, mail bursts, the makeshift media van. Getting the message out to our subscribers if they needed a refuge. As you can see, it went a little wider than we anticipated.
What happened to Kay?
Kay is me now, according to the Samizdat Manifesto. It's all very third-wave socialist with a dash of martyr complex.
Good to know. But I mean, what physically happened to him?
Right. His name is Yarek. Yarek Drobny. He's being held by the police along with Bones. No contact, no bail, no rights. Plausible deniability.
He must have known the risks.
Well, he was open to the existence of risks. When you showed up, it should have been a wake-up call, but you were reasonable. The state isn't reasonable.
I'm pretty sure you didn't call me to put up posters. What's the deal?
We've made a plan. We're getting people out of the city, starting first thing tomorrow. I want Yarek and Bones to go with them, but first, we need to bust them out of jail. Tonight.
And you think I'm the kind of guy who breaks into police stations?
Are you telling me you're not?
Fine, I'll get them out. They're being held in the temporary police station downtown?
Yes. By the Monument Metro. Once you're clear, takes them across the plaza to the Ineda cleaners. We've cached everything they need for a long road trip along the old NATO decommissioning zone.
That's your escape route? Puts getting them past the state police into perspective.
It works on paper. And gives them these new identity documents, a lot of new identities. We found a very good forger. We're keeping her from a bright future in a Pika's newsroom. Too many people. They'll have to borrow more trucks. Can we get back into the city trash depot tonight?
Edward Braun. Thought we activated your permit.
You did. Whatever you did was enough to fool them.
Doesn't seem to have done you much good.
It kept me out of Golem. I wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for you. But now, martial law changes everything. It's Warsaw 1982 out there.
Warsaw didn't have drones.
I remember them going into people's homes, accusing them of things they did not do, being part of organizations I have never heard of. It was clear to me that it was all happening again.
So you slipped away, went underground. How'd you know to come here?
I heard a message on the radio. They were saying that martial law was being used as an excuse to round up anyone. And then I look outside and I see this with my own eyes. The police acting indiscriminately, just like 82. So I decide to do exactly what I did then. I hide in the sewers. And I start to find others. People who are scared and looking for safety, just like me.
I'm sorry it came to this, Edward. I know how much it meant to you to stay in Prague.
It's not about me anymore. I am one of the lucky ones. All these people down here, we must stay together. We must help each other to get through this. They are my family now.
Good luck, Edward. Milena, you didn't take my advice about giving up on forgery.
I know. But trouble is, I've got a talent for it. And it's a real growth market. As soon as you got me out of that thing with Dragomir, I had like 20 emails from Samizdat. Do you have any idea how difficult it is for art school graduates to find a specialist subject these days?
The permits aren't enough for police anymore, forged or real.
In Prague, maybe. But it turns out I'm multilingual when it comes to falsifying border passes. Lucky, right?
Never works, I'd say lucky.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Super Commando Man.
Oh, don't mention it, Milena.
If there was an easier option, you think we wouldn't take it? I was less stressed out when I was working at gunpoint.
We may not agree on your methods, but I'll let you get back to your work.
Coming from you, that is like the gold star seal of approval.
Just rest and concentrate. Declaration of augmentation. Tigard for registry. History of permit.
Tall, dark, and augmented.
Over here. I suppose you responded. I am willing to volunteer on the Samizdat mail.
You always did want to travel.
To travel, yes.
Yep.
Access granted.
Every fucking time. You see anything? Me neither.
Parents will be so ashamed. must be quiet. Do not provoke. What is that?
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Maybe you're thinking you're fighting for the wrong team. Well, that's a good start, man. First, you have to see that you're
our old military-industrial
big
friend.
corporate. Then you can stop dancing for it.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
military-industrial center.
From state po- You! I knew it, man! I knew you were one of them all along!
Do I look like I'm one of them?
I can feel my hands right now, but if I could run a search for shadowy extra-government agent on the net, pretty sure it's all you.
Fair point. What happened? You pulled a Freedom of Information speech on the state police?
Ha fucking ha. They didn't wait for a speech, man. Lesson learned. Smash the state before the state smashes your nose.
Little K asked me to get you out.
She's the K now, man. I'm a liability to Samizdat.
She cares about you, Yarrick. She didn't want to leave you or Bones behind.
Always was a cool cat, man. One of the good ones. She wrote the wheels come off 16 years ago and the conspiracies just keep checking out. Everything except the gray aliens, but who's to say that's not a metaphor?
If she wrote the book...
I don't believe in authorial intent.
You told me you were a liability to Samizdat. How do you figure that?
Because the cops burn me, man. Exposure is death. They didn't have to ask a single question. Just took my DNA off their knuckles. My high school dropout date, my sister's parking tickets, my darknet proxies. Oral cemetery.
Oral cemetery?
They didn't get a lot of mainstream airplay. Anyway, Little K shouldn't have sent you. Samizdat has to be bigger than any man or woman.
Samizdat is bigger than you now, Yarrick. The Resistance reached further than you planned for. You want to fall on your sword, there's a better place to do it than in a holding cell.
Whoa, you know I use the term liability real broadly.
I might have known you wouldn't keep your heads down during the riots.
This is what a radical news source lives for, man. Lives and dies for. But the helmets on the streets, the extreme peacekeeping, that's not about the Golem riots. How are the Augs gonna get over here? Carpool? No. Someone, somewhere, wanted the cops to clean house in Prague. And this is just the beginning. What if they could call martial law anywhere, anytime? Cops without borders.
That's your prediction, huh?
You can take it to the bank, man. The Palisade Property Bank.
There's a way out of Prague for you both. The Samizdat Resistance has organized everything. We just need to keep our heads down and get to the cleaners nearby.
The cleaners? Irony. Wait, you mean going through the cops?
There's a police locker in the corner that should be stocked with uniforms. Find something that fits and try to look convincing. We need the cops to think you're one of them. Good. It's time to go.
Move that story to page 2. Are you going to make the deadline?
What were you saying?
Stop! I'll be right behind you.
I think we can enact evacuation.
Should never have come to Prague. I'll be right behind you.
this far, we are in serious trouble. Myriad Swift, moving.
Exhilarating.
We actually made it. Do you think it is safe here?
I don't think it's safe anywhere. But I think you can breathe here at least. There's a group organizing underground. They're doing everything they can to create a refuge, to get people out.
I thought you were against groups like this. The way you treated Vlasta before.
Vlasta was different. I trust these people. They actually care what happens to others.
These men, they are part of this group?
That's right. You were right before to do whatever it takes to try to get out of this city. This is your chance now. If you wait here, Kay's people will come for you. They'll do everything they can to help.
I believe you. Thank you. I appreciate what you've done.
Good luck, Olivier.
Time for Samizdat to go inter...
Yes! Exit plans, man! Exit plans! Always be making them! We worked this contingency plan out when we started Samizdat. Didn't think it would actually come to this, though.
No one thought it would be like this. You're gonna need these documents where you're going, wherever that is.
I hear Paris is the best place to have a revolutionary agenda these days. If you want to come along, you can be the muscle. Well, whatever your arms are made of, the stuff they use on space shuttles.
No can do. I've got a previous engagement I really can't miss.
Right, with the cardboard box company.
Watch yourself out there, Kay.
Kay? Kay is Kazdi, man. Kay is everyone. You're part of it now. We'll lie low until the morning, then go out to the trash cans.
Time for Samizdat to go international.
I'll be careful, I promise.
Pane, já vás varuju. Nevycházejte na ulici, tohle je stav nouze. Je mi z těch autů na zvracení. Pane, zůstaňte se, vraťte se dovnitř.
Who is this?
Daria, from the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. Apartment across from yours. Please, hurry. I need you one thing.
Are you still there? Daria.
You have been listening to the radio? They are saying all the problems.
Daz is the man. He'll set you up.
My Interpol friend, it's dangerous for you to be out in the street tonight. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
The killer is still out there. More victims have turned up. All of them Augs, all harvested. Just like Angela's gun.
So it's the same person doing all this, and we still have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure where all this is going, but I've been looking at old case notes, and it's uncanny. Marek Svobotka, the old harvester, is supposed to be dead, yet this killer seems to... little habits that were never made public. I even called the cemetery just to make sure Svobodka's still dead.
And?
He's dead.
That doesn't explain what you're doing here.
It's still my case, isn't it? And it's still open. I was hoping that maybe Daria suddenly remembered something. What about you? You know very well that your Interpol ID doesn't mean shit tonight. Hell, I should be arresting you right now.
Daria said she was in trouble. She was convinced that the killer had come after her. Though I find you sneaking outside her door. It's a little strange, isn't it?
Right, because I'm the killer. You need to get some sleep, my friend. You're not thinking straight.
How'd you know she was in trouble?
I had a hunch. You know, any other cop would arrest you for breaking curfew right now. Or worse. Lucky for you, I'm not any other cop. Go, check on your little friend. I'll take a look around the building. Just try not to get caught.
I won't.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiate. Access granted.
watching. Because you. Public have imposed a state of martial law throughout their city. This after riots in the Santa Cruz School complex spread over into the capital streets. Allegedly perpetrated by masses of augmented.
Don't know what's worse, the cops or the cops.
Coming out of there.
Nothing yet. Makes no sense closing down the whole city. Clear, moving. Anything?
You want to call in with nothing?
What are you doing here? It's after curfew. It's dangerous.
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just inconvenient.
I beg your pardon?
Daria Mishka. Ring a bell?
I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to divulge anyone's personal information.
I don't have much time, so you need to start talking fast. Daria's in grave danger. That's if she's even still alive. If there's something I need to know about her.
Trust me, there's no hurry. The further men like you stay away from Daria, the better it is for everyone. You should forget it.
Why men like me? Look, I know about the email you sent her. I know you performed some kind of surgery. Why was it so important for Daria to meet you here?
I used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No, of course not. Before that, when I used to work for Taeyong Medical, big tech corporation. You know it?
Enough to know I don't like where this is going.
I headed a project, the cutting edge of neural science and cellular memory replacement. We dealt with people suffering from severe social disorders. We were making people better by making them better people.
How exactly did you make people better?
We found a way to isolate specific character traits.
The idea was to use neural implants with imprints of desirable traits from select individuals and insert them into others who were, how should I say, less gifted. Take a man like yourself, for example. Could have given you a sense of humor.
I'm funny enough as it is. Now how about you tell me what went wrong? Something obviously did.
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone. Depression, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part out of your sales pitch.
Daria is responsible for what Daria does. The only reason Tai Young forced me to get involved is because so much is at stake for them. Big brand name to protect. I've met their lawyers, men whose briefcases are filled with broken teeth. You must understand.
I'm trying to save Daria. If any part of you cares about what happens to her, now is the time to tell me. What do I need to know to help her?
Daria is beyond help. You're wasting your time.
That's for me to decide. Now tell me about this procedure. And you can quit stalling, because I'm not going anywhere until I get the answers I need.
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't exactly lining up to have a scrape inside their heads. So Tai Young had to diversify.
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Tai Young Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobotka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given, was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had. Nothing else mattered at the time.
Your test subject's been murdering people all over Prague. Maybe you'll be next.
What? She didn't actually mention me, did she?
Is that all you care about? Your own skin?
It's not all I care about, but it's a very high priority.
Then let's put it this way. She's not the only one you need to be scared of right now.
All right. Look. We obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline. She won't let you get anywhere near it. So if you're serious about putting an end to this, you'll have to, you know.
What, kill her?
That would be my preference, yes. Or I suppose you could just incapacitate her, but then you run the risk of having her wake up. Not a risk I would take personally.
There must be another way. Something that doesn't involve attacking her.
I wish I could help you. Unless you're willing to meet violence with violence, Daria's not a victim. Chip or no chip, she is behind this, and she will try to attack you no matter what you do.
I don't think Daria's as responsible as you make her out to be. Taking her out and removing the chip is great for you. Gets rid of any evidence that might link her actions to your bungled experiment. But there's no way it's my only option. And there's no way Tai Young Medical would develop a sensitive technology like this without some kind of failsafe. I know you're holding something back.
Like what?
A weakness, an override. Something that allows me to talk to her without the influence of whatever it is you installed.
Well, there is an override phrase. Daria's been programmed to react to it with specific subconscious impulses that are designed to trigger a shutdown of the chip.
Why wouldn't you tell me that in the first place?
Because I knew you would overestimate what it could do. You're a fool if you think you can just walk up to a killer and say a magic word. It won't undo what she's become. The decision to act on Svobodka's memories, to repeat them, that was all Daria. Simply shutting down the chip at this point will not be sufficient.
That's for me to decide. What's the override phrase?
Ad hominem 2026. But I warn you, do not turn your back on her. And do not underestimate her responsibility in all of this. We all have terrible nightmares. We all have visions of sick and terrible things we could do. But we don't all act on them. You must be careful around her. You must find a way to deal with Daria.
Anything?
Go with him if you want. I'm going to keep looking. If this far, we are in serious trouble.
Pozor! Celé měsíce zákaz vycházení. Kvůli rozšíření komplexu Tulek byly pražské ulice uzavřeny.
Oh, thank God. I knew you'd find me. We must hurry, before he comes back.
Before who comes back? The man who killed Angela Gunn?
Yes. He knows you're after him. He wanted you to come.
So where is he?
He's everywhere. Can you not feel his presence? Are you not scared?
Why did he bring you here? What does he want?
He's using me to get to you. He thinks that by removing your augmentations, he can make you whole again. Quickly, come closer. Help me to get out, and then deal with him. Please, I beg you.
I need to know where he is first. How long ago did he leave here? Which way did he go?
You've got to be joking. We don't have time for all these questions. If he knows I spoke to you, he will kill me. Please, my ankle. Come closer. You must help me escape.
You can drop the act, Daria. I know what's going on here. I know there's no one else out there. I ran into an old friend of yours. The name Cipra mean anything to you?
You mean Dr. Cipra? Where did you dig him up?
He's worried about you.
He's worried about himself. He's worried about Tai Yong Medical. They're willing to kill to cover things up, to preserve their precious image. Their reasons are savage compared to mine.
I don't believe this is who you are. Something changed in you after Cipra's surgery, made you do things you would never have done otherwise, for reasons that aren't your own. But it's not too late.
Don't be so naive. I am who I've always been. Cipra's surgery, all it did was give me access to another man's technique, his courage to follow through.
I can still help you. Ad hominem 2026.
What did you do? Is that how machines pray?
Listen to me. The neural chip that Dr. Cipra installed in you is in the process of shutting down. Try to focus. This version of you that's been hurting people, I don't believe that was really you.
Then you don't know me very well. Why? Why should this change anything? The procedure gave me access to memory banks that weren't my own. The choice to draw on those memories was mine alone. You can't take them from me.
The shutdown process may take some time. There may be lingering effects, but that doesn't mean it's too late to help you.
You really believe that, don't you? All right. Prove it. Approach me. Come. Closer. Save me from all those horrible things Dr. Cipra did. There's nothing to be scared of, right? Surely whatever trace of the harvester was inside me is gone now that you've said the magic words.
You obviously need more help than I can offer, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. Whatever power the neural chip had over you should be diminishing now. You should be able to fight whatever urges Svobodka's memories inspired in you.
I don't need help. You do. You need to be saved. All Augs need to be saved. Svobodka inspired me to... I can make you human again. I have to make you human again to atone for what I am.
This notion you got that augmented people need saving, that there's something less than human. Look, I didn't know her, but I guarantee you Angela Gunn was a human being. Her humanity was defined by her ideas, her passions, the causes she believed in. It had nothing to do with whether or not she was augmented.
Svobodka never saw them as individuals. To him, they were victims of an age that terrified him. Mirror images of the monster he had become. He believed the entire race was under attack, that mechanization would keep our souls from migrating.
How does that sound like to you when you say it? Migration of the soul, victims of an age. I'm not talking abstract concepts here. I'm talking about people. Svobotka never saw his victims as human beings because it would have made it impossible to do what he did. He was sick, he was scared. Whatever he was no savior.
You're right. The more he killed, the easier it became. That is why he had to repeat the actions, ritualize them. It was a way of justifying his beliefs. If you kill one man, the memory is like an anvil. If you kill 7, you quickly forget the first. It all starts to seem inevitable. Surely it must be obvious to you by now. The Daria you came here to save no longer exists. She hasn't for a long time. All that remains now is his drive, his legacy, his cause.
Svobotka didn't have a cause. He was a serial killer, acting out on impulses that he tried to couch in spiritual rhetoric. A way of convincing himself that his actions were justified, but they weren't. No amount of faith or abstraction makes it okay to dehumanize people the way he did.
No. No, it doesn't. But so what if you're right? So what that Svobodka's motivations cannot stand up to scrutiny? His actions, my actions, cannot be justified. Where does that leave me? If those others did not deserve to die, then I deserve to die.
It's not for me to judge you. I want smarter people than me to look into this neural procedure you underwent. Dig into Cipra and Tai Young.
So you're offering me a fair trial?
I'm not offering anything. But if there's any hope of moving on here, not killing anyone else is a good start. Society has every right to judge you, and it also has a right to hear all about Cipra and Tai Young Medical. I'm not an expert on extenuating circumstances, but I'd say you have an interesting case.
You were right before, about the override process taking time. I can feel him receding. Memories of memories no longer crashing against me like they did. Let me prove it to you. Come closer. I want at least one person to know that I'm no longer what I was.
All right, Daria, we need to get you out of here for real now. This needs to end.
The version of me who did those things to Angela, I cannot even imagine it being me, even though I know it was. Whatever happens now, whatever the authorities decide, I hope you believe me.
What's going on here? What the hell am I interrupting?
Detective Montag.
Daria's got a story to tell you. How you react may have something to do with your thoughts on experimental neural therapies and big medical conglomerates.
I don't understand. Where is the harvester?
I want to turn myself in.
One of you really needs to start explaining.
I want to confess to the killings of Angela Gunn, Misha Voracek, Pavel Klima, and Leonie Wolf. I also need to tell you about a neural procedure I underwent. It involves Tai Young Medical and a man named Dr. Nicholas Cipra. I hope you'll listen.
You can handle this from here. Just listen carefully to what she has to say.
All right, Daria. I think... you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Tai Young Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Not a lifetime.
I suggest you remember about this procedure you underwent.
It's all so muddled.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was involved, what happened.
I'm not that person anymore. I swear.
Your time, or now nothing's going to happen until I get the full story.
Turning myself in is for the best. I know that now.
granted.
It's David. We need to talk. In private.
Nothing's more private than my info link.
I'm not so sure. I've sent a secure vid call number to your smart home system. Get to your apartment and call me.
Delara, what are you doing here?
Is that going to become our standard conversation starter?
I'm serious, Delara. It's dangerous outside. Non-essential staff should be home. How did you even get...
Ouch. Non-essential.
I just meant...
Work with me, Adam. I was trying for a little levity. Truth is, watching Picus News, hearing that the mobs were getting closer to the city, I was reminded of... Let's just say I thought being 3 stories below ground was better than staying in my apartment. So, I called in a favor and got state police to escort me in. Listen, I can tell something big is happening, so I don't want to keep you.
You doing okay, Delara?
Look, Adam, I didn't tell you why I left Lim International. That I was in session with a patient when the incident hit, and that I was...
You were attacked.
Her name was Madeline. She was 13. A really sweet kid. One minute we were talking, laughing actually, about something silly I'd said, and the next she was...
It was a terrible day. For everyone.
After I fought her off, she just stared at me like she was totally aware, you know, but not in control. God, Adam, I could see in her eyes that some part of her was still in there, locked away. And she was terrified.
Delara, I'm sure the girl...
Madeline. Her name was Madeline. You know the part that I'll never forget, though? The thing that keeps just replaying in my mind over and over? Right before she jumped out of my office window, I could swear she was crying.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound insensitive. But you made it through that, Delara. And I think you're stronger for it.
Thanks, Adam. Guess you just think you're over something, you know? And then...
I understand. But regardless of the reason, you took a risk coming back here. These are dangerous times for everyone.
You don't need to worry about me, Adam. I'll be fine. I'll just hunker down in my office until the storm passes. Besides, I hear I have a very comfortable couch.
Just take care of yourself.
I always do.
I don't know how much more of this I can watch.
Hey, Adam.
They're trying to lock it down, but I was able to bypass most of the state police.
Good for you. The last thing we need is more bloodshed. There's been enough already. If I had your stealth training, I might head home, but I think I'm safer in here. Plus, my test results are in and they're putting me back in the field, finally. I don't want to run in with state police messing that up.
Whose unit are you assigned to for your next mission?
McCready's.
Really? I thought...
He actually recommended me. Told me I shoot better than anyone on his team.
That's great. Talk to you later, Arya.
Bye, Adam. See you out there.
Isn't it? Look, both patches, it's not like Ogden. What are we seeing here?
That's not right. Dr. Ozen, contact center.
You want people to come through for you. You've got to look out for them.
You know what I heard? He got captured, escaped, and sneaked his way out of a heavily guarded facility.
Typical.
That's his idea of a recon mission.
That's Jensen. He's a hands-on kind of guy.
Jesus! I guess there's a chance he died in the blast.
Fucking state police are unbelievable.
I wish I was asleep right now.
You know, I was starting to think you got rounded up. My God, martial law, I heard it's pretty bad out there.
Bad enough. Don't go out if you don't have to.
Yeah, well, it's getting bad in here too. I've been going a little nuts. I mean, to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure who I can trust anymore.
What are you talking about, Chang?
You know I've been looking into Janus, right? Well, turns out Janus knows things about this place. About us. Things they could only know if... Information that could only come from inside.
You think Janus has a mole inside the task force? What makes you say that? What exactly have you found?
I can't tell you that, Jensen. Not because I don't trust you. You're one of the few people I do trust. I don't know who might be listening.
All right. What have you told Miller?
Nothing yet. I'm still piecing things together. I told you because I had to tell someone.
Thanks for the heads up, Chang.
Be careful, Jensen.
MIA is still better than him or something else. We'll have our lawyer down.
You want more people to die?
You made it. Hell of a time for a lockdown.
More like convenient, given everything that's happened in this investigation so far.
What does that mean?
They knew I was coming. Marchenko and the gold mask from Dubai. Somebody tipped them off.
Are you accusing me?
I'm not accusing anyone, yet. But 2 ambushes in less than a month? I want to know what's really going on.
So do I. McCready dug into GARM. Started out as a geological research center, funded by the European Union, until 2025, when it was purchased by a nameless shell company.
You put Chang on it?
That kid scares me. Tracked it back to Bell Tower Associates in under an hour.
I take it no one purchased it when Bell Tower went bankrupt last year.
Wasn't even listed on the asset sheet. So like I said, you stumbled into something big. Care to focus on figuring out what it is? Right after you contacted me, I got on the horn with Lyon. Had them send in a strike team from France. It got there about an hour after you two slipped out.
And the mercs were gone.
Did a pretty good job of trashing the place before bugging out, and left a few booby traps behind. So we have no idea where they went or what they're planning next.
Not necessarily. I heard Marchenko talking to his men. He said something about finalizing a deal with the Diwali.
We need to move on this now. I'll get a search warrant for that old Diwali-owned theater on Zardibi Adlam Street.
You really think we have time for a search warrant?
No, but with the city under lockdown, I can't guarantee you'll make it over to the red light district alive.
I got here, didn't I? Nobody's killed me yet.
All right, fine. I won't stop you. Just be careful out there, Jensen. Let me know what you find.
Copy that.
You do understand we are trying to stop terrorists here. I understand that. But I have agents scattered around this city. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Peterson pulled his ID off.
Deadly explosive device.
MIA is still better than him blowing everything else.
Ours is the man. He'll set you up.
Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Right over there.
You want praxis, eh? Biocell, hypostim, painkillers.
I might be interested.
They sell these things.
Yeah, I got that.
Buy something. Get out of here, then.
I have everything I need.
Poliatski.
Biocell, painkillers. Right over there.
Adam, good. We need to talk, son.
What's going on, Seraph? Why the secure vidcall number?
I looked into Facility 451. It was a processing clinic, one of dozens set up after the incident to help augmented people recover. It was supposed to be places to heal, but they were run more like prison camps.
And?
And I don't think you got your new AUGs there. You said rescue teams dumped you in that clinic shortly after Panchaea collapsed, but your name doesn't appear on its entry logs. And it doesn't appear on any survivor recovery lists either.
They said I was a John Doe. Nobody knew who I was.
It wouldn't have been hard to find out. Your augmentations have serial numbers. Or at least the ones I had installed into Adam Jensen did.
Are you suggesting all my AUGs are new? Even the ones you gave me?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm telling you, all the AUGs we ever installed had registry codes, and they're not hard to trace.
I know my AUGs, Seraph. It took 2 years for my body to get used to them, to unlock all their potential.
2 years? Really, Adam? One of which you don't remember because you were allegedly in a coma in Alaska. Look, son, all I'm saying is it wouldn't have been hard to identify you, but for some reason, that never happened.
Why are you so sure I didn't get these AUGs in Alaska? Orloff was there. I spoke with him.
You said he was using an alias, McFadden. I looked into it. Casper McFadden didn't exist until the day you regained consciousness, which was 1 month before you escaped the facility.
Okay, so where was Orloff?
Not in Alaska. He was with Tai Young Medical for a while, and in the spring of 2028, his name pops up once or twice in the Baltic region. Then he dropped off the grid, and McFadden shows up.
So what does that prove? Orloff is McFadden, and McFadden is Orloff. None of it connects him to me.
Except for the AUGs which Orloff designed and nobody else knows how to install, let alone make compatible with a competing system.
I found a set of Orloff schematics in a secret military facility in the Swiss Alps. The mercs there had the same augments as me. Do you think I could have been there?
A secret military base in Switzerland? It's kind of far from the Arctic, but...
But what?
When Panchaea collapsed, the original search and rescue mission was reclassified as a recovery operation after 7 days.
Meaning they weren't expecting to find any more survivors.
A few days after that, a unit of soldiers who were never publicly identified intervened. I think that's who found you.
They pull me out of the ocean, take me somewhere. And a year later, Orlov and I show up in Alaska.
Maybe. Listen, son, there's some conclusions you have to make for yourself. I've gone as far as I can take you. Orlov might have had answers, but as soon as you found out he was in Prague, that he'd been visiting Prague periodically ever since you started working with TF-29's division there, somebody killed him. You tell me what it means.
I can't. Not yet.
Well, if you ever do find out, give me a call. Until then, take care of yourself, Adam. Be careful.
Thanks for the help, Seraph.
Feeling all right?
Jensen, you still alive out there?
Yeah, just made it to the red light district. Any luck with that search warrant?
State police aren't even taking my calls. I'm afraid you're on your own this time.
Story of my life. But I got it, don't worry. Miller, Diwali owned most of the apartments surrounding the old theater, isn't that right?
Yeah, and they're very possessive of them. So if you're thinking of getting in that way,
It's gone a little further than just thinking.
then expect it to zip straight past peaceful negotiation the minute they see you. Jensen, you said Marchenko needed to finalize a deal, right?
With the Diwali, yeah. Not a lot to go on, I know.
Maybe not. But these guys are the best smugglers in the world, which means a lot of forged paperwork. You might find something in Kingpin's office.
Assuming I can find that.
Давай мы поможем тебе Укрытие, жив! Я его прикончу!
Walk by. Just walk on by.
Miller, Marchenko is targeting the Safe Harbor Convention in London.
Jesus, there'll be hundreds of people there.
How fast can we move on this?
I'll warn London and get Mac working on a mobilization plan for them. You go home. We'll contact you there.
Alex, they are hitting London. The Valley agreed to smuggle weapons and the Orchid into Apex Center.
Fuck, man, they want to take out Brown. He's their real target. I've been digging into him.
Get to my apartment. Explain it to me there.
We got it wrong, Adam. Brown's financial prospects aren't as rosy as we thought. He stands to lose trillions if the Human Restoration Act passes.
That doesn't make any sense. Millions of displaced Augs will flock to Rabia.
And the city can't support them. Brown's been selling investors a pumped-up dream. The corporate city-state where like-minded individuals govern themselves while investors reap the profits.
Kinda goes against the idea of a one-world government.
Yeah, and if it fails, so does Brown, the Santo Group, and anyone else standing in the Illuminati's way.
So they want to kill a competing dream and get rid of their augmented problem in one fell swoop. I take it Brown's been campaigning against the act?
And unlike Rucker, he's got the money and influence to stop it.
What about the orchid sample I gave you? Marchenko's smuggling more of it into London. Were you able to analyze it?
That's some pretty sick shit, man. Far as we can tell, it targets a specific protein sequence in the body and deletes it. But without that sequence, the immune system goes into overdrive, attacking and rejecting critical organs within minutes. Rucker's death must have been horrible.
It was. The way it hit him, it looked like his augmentations were being forced out of his body. Like he was experiencing a ramped-up form of rejection syndrome.
The orchid's an Aug killer? How did you survive it?
I suspect it's an everyone killer. But something in my DNA must be resistant to it. My body doesn't reject augments, Alex. I've never needed neuropazine. Maybe that's the key.
No neuropazine dependency? Jesus, how's life at the top, man? You gotta be what, 1 in a billion? Still, don't go testing this theory out. You might not be so lucky next time. Darknet posted pictures of Rucker's corpse. If Brown and all his elegant fancy potential investors get dosed, and Picus News broadcasts images of them, it's gonna send a message.
I'd better warn Miller. You can stay here if you want, till the curfew's lifted.
I can take care of myself. But when the task force hits London, keep me in the loop. Not sure what I can do, but... good luck, Adam. And be safe.
Miller, it's Jensen. Is McCready still working on that plan for London? Because there's another variable to consider.
You can brief him yourself at TF-29's airfield. We're mobilizing.
Copy that. How do I get there?
Damn curfew's still in effect. So if you can get to Chicane's place, he'll fly you to it. Miller out.
Miller's not here yet?
He's already left for the main hangars with McCready's team. We're supposed to rendezvous with them there. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Unbelievable. You told him it's a credible threat. I understand that. There are hundreds of lives at risk.
I hope you're wrong about this, Jensen.
So do I.
Fine. Have your men pull back until I can talk to him myself.
Miller out.
Change in plans. Mac, you and your team will rendezvous with our London division. Secure the perimeter until I tell you to come back in. Jensen, you and I are on the roof.
Is there a problem?
Wrap it up, gentlemen. Approaching the target building now.
Get your coat. You're gonna need it. I don't have to tell you what's happening. You know the drill. There are people down there. Radical, augmented people who've been sidelined by this world and who think the only way to stop the oppression is by tearing down everything in their way. Their grievances may be just. Maybe they should be heard. But never on these terms. The world may be going to shit, but we're here to stand against the chaos. Every one of the guests down there are counting on us to keep them safe. Let's make sure we do.
Director Miller, I'm Nathaniel Brown. Thank you for agreeing to handle this discreetly.
We didn't exactly have a choice. You threatened to invoke the Corporate Sovereignty Act.
I gave your London division a full day to sweep for explosives. They found nothing.
It's not just bombs we're concerned with.
I've also replaced all the food and beverage brought in extra guards from Tarvis Security Services and ordered the men to work with your team when it arrives. Trust me, I'm taking this threat very seriously.
Then why not cancel the event?
This isn't the first time extremists have threatened to tear down the Safe Harbor Initiative. Pro-AUG supporters think we're profiting from their misery, promoting more failures like Gollum City. While anti-AUG racists can't stand the thought of any augmented person living in peace. Canceling this event will only embolden all of them.
You can't be that foolish. You think by going ahead with your party you're going to teach these terrorists a lesson?
This initiative is far too important to delay. I didn't become the man I am today by kowtowing to threats, sir. I understand the risk, as do my guests.
Right. And I wonder how many of your guests would gladly go home if they knew they were putting their lives in danger by being here tonight.
It's Agent Jensen, isn't it? David Seraph told me about you. You might not believe this, Agent, but I'm also trying to save lives tonight. The lives of your people. Several members of the UN Security Council are on my guest list tonight. I plan to convince them just how wrong the act really is. Tallis Rucker couldn't stop it from passing. But I can.
Where are you meeting then?
In a secure conference room off the reception hall. Men from your London division have already cleared it.
Doesn't matter. I want to see this room myself, and I want Agent Jensen here to coordinate with Tavos security, while the rest of my team re-examines the building. Discreetly, of course.
The head of our Tarvis division is Liam Slater. He's waiting for your man to join him in the Central Security Office.
Go see him, Agent, and keep MacReady and me in the loop. Mr. Brown, if you'll show me that conference room.
Alex, I'm at the Apex Center. Brown's got members of the Security Council here tonight. Members sympathetic to AUG rights.
You understand they must be protected at all costs.
Janus? Were you eavesdropping on me?
Forgive me, but the situation did seem to merit it.
Right. Well, if I need your advice tonight, I'll ask.
The Illuminati already tried once to control human evolution. Having failed, it appears that some of them now are pushing for complete eradication of your kind. We need to stop them. Brown and the people he's meeting with tonight may be the only ones who can.
Adam, Janus is right.
We'll see.